Hello, this is a preview episode of Watch Out for Fireballs on 2018's God of War, sponsored by our patron Cassie. If you'd like to hear the whole episode, you can join us at patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv. You get episodes a week early, you get all these bonus episodes. It is just $5 a month. We really appreciate it. Thank you. My name is Gary Butterfield.
My name is Cole Ross.
And you're listening to Watch Out for Fireballs. It is a Games Club podcast.
And this week we are talking about God of War, which is an action RPG developed and published by Sony for the PlayStation 4 in 2018.
Not the other episode where we began saying, this week we're talking about God of War.
Yes, that was a couple of years ago, and that was from a game that came out 13 years before this one. Game titles are confusing.
What's the deal? Like, it's going to go on a straight up
First Blood.
Yeah, First Blood. What's the deal?
Yeah.
Going to go on a straight up James Rolfe.
Yep.
On this bad boy.
Just open up that can.
Yep, and that unfortunately makes you Mike Matai, and I'm very sorry about it.
All right.
So this is a premium episode that is executive produced by Cassie. Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie.
What a premium episode means is that this first part, the generalities, will be out for everyone. The full episode is on our Patreon. Give us $5. You get all those. Good use of $5.
I think so. At this point, you get like 20 of them. I think this is the 20th of those episodes, which is a lot. It's also a lot of good material, including, I presume, the rest of this episode. Because
this will at the very least be spicy. Like this is a long game with a lot to talk about.
Yes, it is quite involved, which is strange given where the series started as kind of a tappa beat 'em up kind of game, right?
Yeah.
But this is kind of like a whole re-rack of the series. Like it's a re-envisioning of it.
It's a mechanical reboot and a story continuation, but like definitely a new direction. So this is a little bit of a half reboot, half continuation of the God of War series, which stars Kratos, one of gaming's greatest sociopaths, a Spartan warrior who has left Greece to start a new life in Midgard. So we're switching mythologies.
Yes.
Here. Yeah,
we're going to go and start working through our new pantheon, but reluctantly this time.
Yeah, this time we don't like it.
No. But yeah, we still play as Kratos, and he is traveling with his young son, Atreus. Kratos had moved and he had started a new family after, let's say, doing some whoopsies on the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he starts a second family like my dad, and after ruining his first family like my dad.
But his wife passed, Atreus' mother passed, and kind of like the whole goal for the game, the MacGuffin is to get the sack of ashes to the highest peak of all the 9 realms.
Yes, if you like games about dumping out sacks. You like this game. Your primary antagonist in this and kind of main character in the B-plot is Baldur, who is sent by Odin to hassle Kratos and Atreus. He is seemingly invincible. He does not actually know, and you do not actually know what's going on. There's some information reveal stuff to this, some tragic misunderstandings.
Yes. And something that this game does is it kind of takes like Norse mythology and turns things around. You might think Balder, the sweet, sweet boy, the hunter who just loved his dad. Like they're doing some twist 'em ups and turnarounds. Like playing.
It's God of War's prick.
Yes.
Trick. Is God of War's prick. Like is all the gods are just like absolute assholes. And that was always the subtext that all this mythology, like they were petty and fallible, but then God of War's trick is to make them actual like evil shitheads.
Just real monsters.
Just the absolute worst people.
Yeah. Which is, I am amenable to that trick just because of course the legends about the Aesir written by the Aesir would be positive about the Aesir.
Yeah. The shirt about the Aesir raises a lot of questions about they're answered by my shirt about the Aesir. The biggest mechanical difference of this, is a kind of a wide-reaching overhaul of the combat. It is less frantic and less character action based. Like early in the series, it is tappa, tappa, tappa. It eventually becomes more of a spectacle fighter with God of War 3 is my understanding.
Yeah.
This is now like a soft Soulsy game a little bit.
It feels a little bit like a Souls or an Arkham game where if the camera was locked in behind you during combat.
It's a weird thing. Like I understand the point you're making with the Arkham with the camera, but I associate Arkham games with so much more agility than this.
Yeah, it's a very particular kind of combat for that.
This is like Lords of the Fallen. Like it is like a slower, clunkier, more impact focused combat system than God of War has ever been. And even on that, it is like as very slow and deliberate, not as like precise as like a Dark Souls, but it has that slowness.
Yes.
In terms of avatar mobility.
There is a fun, kind of like deliberate rhythm to what's going on. Which makes it like this combat's pretty good. I like it quite a bit. Yeah.
Like I like that quite a bit as well. I think this is a really fun execution and a far sight fucking better than God of War when we cover that, where the combat was like, okay, it eventually just became this exhausting tap fest.
It was very monotonous. It was killing an enemy and then doing a chore at the end to make sure they stayed dead.
And it's not like this doesn't eventually, have some monotonous bits.
Right.
But on its basis, the combat in this I think is really pretty strong. So no jump button. The camera is locked behind you. You can't jump around. You're grounded. You can do kind of boost, like throw people up to juggle them, but you cannot choose when to do this. And you make combos here with your weak and strong attacks executed with the shoulder buttons, just like Dark Souls.
Yeah, which is like a good way to like physically enforce a more deliberate attack. Like it feels like those particular buttons are harder to mash.
Yes.
Yeah.
You also have a shield. It's never commented on, but it's a weird magical shield that like shoots out of your forearm like Wolverine.
Yeah, he's got like a vambrace that like fans out. I mean, like it's almost exactly like the shield in Sekiro.
Yeah,
the way that it fans out like that. Yeah. But you have like your regular block, which you can just do to hold up if you see something coming at you. There's also a perfect block system. The game is very generous with you, kind of a la like Hellblade, in kind of like demonstrating what incoming attacks are going to be blockable and which ones you have to dodge. There's like a different color of like lens flare or like halo around them as they approach. Yeah.
And this isn't necessarily explained very well in the game, but this is all level dependent. Your stuff. So as you become more powerful, more attacks become parryable or blockable, in kind of a gradient. So something can be unblockable, then blockable but unparryable, and then becomes parryable as your level differential changes with the enemy.
Yes.
There is this level system. There are two types of dodge. One is just like kind of a quick step. The other is a full combat roll, similar to Witcher 3, even though the combat feels very different.
Yes.
But that's another game with two dodges. And as you attack enemies, you reduce their health, and they also have a stun meter, a la Neo. If you get them stunned, you get to do a final move that will either kill them or take a big chunk of health, depending on their level.
Yeah, or for some enemies, like let you climb on their back and control them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And these are where the, God of War has always been about like ripping jaws off Medusas and shit. That is where that happens in here. Like if you want to see, somebody rip somebody's arms off, this game is for you.
I was horrified at the the execution on the Wolven. You don't
the werewolf one is real good.
Yeah, you don't fight very many of those, but you basically rip the grab their jaw and then rip all the skin off the front of their body like you're opening a FedEx package.
You peel them like a banana. Said you unzip their face. Like it is basically what happens. It's pretty harsh. The rest of them are a little restrained, I think, in comparison to God of War.
Yeah,
what I associate with.
Mm-hmm.
But that one is really, really harsh.
Yeah, it's oof. Yeah.
Yep.
So you have 3 main weapons at your disposal. I think we can talk about 2 of them because one of them is fairly spoilery. Like it's a cool moment when you get it. The main
we'll put the spoilers behind but after the jump.
Yes.
Then spoilers are,
right.
off. And just kidding. I mean, not to cut you off, but because it's relevant now.
Mm-hmm.
This game is cheap now. It's like $20 on PSN. This is worth playing.
Yes.
Like this is really good. I don't think this is perfect. I think that it's real weird. Like it whenever a game comes out that's like a big prestige game like this, we have gamer Americans tripping over themselves to fall into tears and say gaming has finally produced art.
Right.
And stuff. It's not that, but it's really pretty enjoyable. I think this is a good video game.
This is, it's a very good instance or example of a really polished, fun ride that has some interesting stuff going on in the story and maybe more systems bloat than I would like, which is kind of that's kind of what I gauge AAA releases on is all of those things. If it hits those, it's this feels kind of par for the course for what a game of this scope ought to be doing.
Yes. Yeah. It's it gets a mechanical edge over The Last of Us for me, but a mechanical detriment under Spider-Man. And the story I liked as much as Spider-Man, but I think that it's swinging for higher fences, which that mileage will vary for you. It's in that zone.
Yes.
Of things. And there's something to be said for a game that just does that zone well. There's a lot of discourse around this and video games in general, whether that zone is worth doing. These big prestige cinematic video games, are these even a worthwhile pursuit? And, once you get into a discussion about them in terms of their body count, the answer is unequivocally no.
Right.
But in terms of just in terms of art, I think that there's a place for this kind of thing. And every once in a while, when one is done really well, I do really like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I played this when it came out and enjoyed it. I replayed it. I am moving, so I didn't do as much side stuff on Revisit. But it still went down pretty smooth. There are things that are annoying, but mostly it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And the story is cool. And this is sitting down and having a nice kind of, not super cerebral. We're not talking about Outer Wilds or anything. It's not going to be that kind of thing, but it's a good, summer blockbuster almost with slightly more heart and slightly more, good mechanical interest than you might think.
Yes. Yeah, I had co-signed on all of that. Additionally, the hour count when you look it up may put you off a little bit. However, the critical path is real manageable. I think that the critical path ended up being about 16 hours for me, possibly.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And still a little bloated.
Yeah, there's some pacing
the critical
problems.
Path has some serious pacing problems actually. And the side stuff really varies from really pretty good little short stories to absolutely atrocious but bonus dungeons, to really, really good optional fights. So it's really kind of pick and choose.
Yes.
What's good. But all of this is just to get a summation out of the way. So before we start spoiling things at all, recommended that this is pretty recommended if you have any appetite at all for a big AAA spectacle game.
Yeah. And I would say that of the, handful of these that have come out over the past, let's say 5 years, this is the one that kind of has kept most of its halo since release. And I didn't feel I came to it with too high of an expectation or anticipating too much of a backlash about it. Yeah, like, so I think that this would be like a good one if you have not checked in on a AAA, modern big budget release in a while. This would be a good one to jump into, I think.
It's like this and Spider-Man are the two that I think are good for that. Like, I have a mild preference for that game because I think it's more fun in the hands.
Yes.
But they're both real good. And the backlash around this has almost been exclusively like cultural.
Yes.
Like it's all been stuff.
Do we really need another dad game? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like from the critic sphere, which is, varying degrees of like good, that I have very much time for those arguments, but it's not like the mainstream has turned against this like BioShock Infinite.
Right.
Where it's like, hey, this actually, the Emperor has no clothes and had no clothes. Like, this is a really shallow game with dumb ideas. It just looked pretty. That hasn't come for God of War.
No.
Which is kind of nice.
Because I don't think it's a shallow game. And I also, like, and yes, it does look very pretty. So.
Yeah, it's like a weird, it's a middlebrow game. This is not, pathologic, but it's also not, I don't know what, like it's not Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
It's not super dumb. So.
Yeah. So just, to summarize that, play this if you're at all curious about it.
If it sounds good, you'll probably like it.
Yeah. There are reveals in the story that I would have felt worse if I had known them coming in. Let's say. Well,
and also like just to speak of this as somebody who played it twice, this is the worst game on second run through. To me, in a big bad way. Like those surprises and wanting to know what happens next to the main story was a huge motivator.
Yes.
So, more, spoilers matter to varying degrees in general, but I think that more than a lot of stuff we've done recently, it actually will affect your playthrough if you know this stuff.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So moving on, there are three main weapons that you have. Starting with, Kratos giving away his signature, but incredibly unpractical, chain blades. He now has an axe, the Leviathan axe, which is, relatively slow, but is strong and has frost magic.
Yes.
Attached to it.
Yeah. And kind of the big thing about this that makes it, not just an implement for combat, but also for puzzles is the fact that you can, throw it and then it returns to you like Mjolnir. Yes,
exactly like Mjolnir, as we'll come to find out. And there have been, there's a animation, a play frame video, I believe, about the animation on why this feels so good. It actually might be an extra credits, but this feels incredible. Like the kinesthetics of throwing and returning the axe, I think almost couldn't be done better.
Yeah.
It is incredibly satisfying and fun.
Yeah. And like calling it back before it even like lands.
Yes.
Yeah. They must have put a ton of effort into making like every part of this feel good. Like
it's really, really impressive.
The only thing that didn't feel good was when I had like a near miss on something stationary. Like that was the only big bummer for this. But like in combat, you're fighting a lot of like big enemies. You can, throw at weak spots, or like for regular people, you can throw at their legs and like knock them down. And, soften them up as they're closing distance. And I think that starting you with this axe, as opposed to anything else that would have been more God of War-like, it goes a long way toward being what's responsible for kind of like enforcing and setting up this slower, more deliberate kind of combat.
Yeah. Yeah. And this obviously interfaces with an upgrade tree and all that stuff, which we'll talk about later.
Yes.
You can also fight barehanded. The idea behind this style is that it emphasizes stun. So as opposed to doing HP damage to enemies, you're building up that stun meter to do those finishing moves sooner. This kind of includes like shield bashes, sweeps, things like that. There are also parts of the game where you'll be without your axe because it is being used in a puzzle.
Yep.
So it's good to get some familiarity with this mode as well.
Yeah. I liked switching back and forth between these. Like I liked throwing the axe at an enemy to like freeze it if they were a little bit too spicy for me, and then dealing with everybody else with hand to hand while the cooldown on the axe, kind of came down. The fact that both of these were kind of equally useful, just in different contexts or for different results, is a good decision, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
The third weapon is a spoiler.
Shh. Kratos also gets shh.
Yes, but it's different than the previous two, and we'll talk about it in depth when we get it.
I like it way less. Like we'll get to it, but I don't think it's nearly as fun.
Right.
Spartan Rage is back. So this is a meter that as you get damaged, it fills up, you can activate it, and you get, you become invincible and get really powerful hand-to-hand moves. You regain health by attacking. When you get hurt, instead of losing health, you lose Spartan Rage. So there's still a incentive to not get hit.
Yes.
In this mode.
So you still want to, be engaging with the dodge system and stuff like that. Like, of all of the upgrades that you get, these end up being the most entertaining. Like, there's a high level one that is just pick up a boulder from below where you're at, like in the ground, and huck it at somebody. Like, this is the turn into the Hulk button.
I did not put any points into this tree.
Oh, it was good.
I just kept forgetting I had it. And like those kind of meter things like that, like, I try to divest myself of too good to use, but I save them for bosses, but then I just don't end up using them very often.
Right.
So I did not see any of that stuff. You also get magic in a way of these kind of runic attacks.
Light and heavy.
These do lots of different things. Light and heavy. There's one you can assign for each. They have different cooldowns, and they have a lot of different things that can pop up. And then your fourth weapon is boy.
Is boy.
Yes. Fourth weapon is boy. Put it in H. This is Atreus, who is not passive. He's going to help you with combat, and you very rarely have to bail him out. Enemies don't attack him directly, but they will try to carry him off every once in a while. So you can stop that. And he also has his own upgrade tree, which is a powerfully condescending thing. Like, if I owned an upgrade tree for you, Cole, like you couldn't upgrade yourself, but I had to choose what upgrades you got.
Yeah, he's going to get his own when he's 18. You can't trust him. His brain isn't finished growing, Gary.
You get to rent a carpet shampooer, and you get your own upgrade tree at 25. I love the idea of upgrading somebody. Like, oh yeah, check it out. You get +3 frost damage. What? I don't mess with frost damage. Yeah, you do.
You do now.
Better start messing with frost damage.
Yeah.
You're going to summon an owl when I want you to summon a fucking owl.
Mom, I don't want to take tap dancing lessons.
Like, well, now you got +4% tap dancing. So he'll do his own thing. And the active thing is he will fire with his bow and arrow. So you will control this generally. Like, what you're looking at, you can click a button and he'll shoot it with a bow and arrow, which starts off just as a distraction and eventually becomes an actual pretty powerful weapon.
Yeah. Either for damage or also for imparting different status effects that you can do. Like there's like elemental status effect accumulation that happens in here. So you can train him up and choose particular arrows that will complement your particular style or match the situation that you are in. As the game goes on, Atreus becomes more confident and starts doing more things in combat. So whereas early on he will kind of keep a distance, by the end of the game he is up and in the fray, and he will often like jump on somebody's back and start like punching on them to like make them vulnerable for Kratos to come in and do extra damage. So, this is not an escort mission. The fact that you are traveling and fighting with the boy is a plus for you. Like, this is a cool system.
Big plus. Probably the USP, for the game. Like, they did a good job, I think, with that mechanically. Yeah. So there are a lot of little puzzles in place, with Atreus's arrows, and with your range attacks and weapons. And these are highly, varied in terms of execution. The ones with your attacks tend to be kind of cool puzzles where you have to think. The ones with arrows tend to be keys. It's real obnoxious.
You see a particular kind of crystal, so we need to shoot it with this particular kind of arrow to go forward.
I think those suck. I don't really like those, and I think that they are a pacing killer a lot of the time in this game.
Yeah. It was, I was actually kind of shocked because like when you get to those areas where it's like, hallways for worth of traps, I had flashbacks to like the entire half of the game that took place in Pandora's Temple. Yeah. The first game.
It's weird because they added those, but just in very specific areas. And then they filled the world with puzzles that are not very God of War at all. Yeah. Like those have a God of War legacy that, hey, there's shoot the lamp with your arrow. Zelda shit does not. And it's real weird to me. And it kind of does like a Metroidvania progression, but it's fairly weak. I think. We'll get into that when we start talking about the pacing stuff when we get into the actual game.
Yeah.
But it's not an aspect of the game I love. What I think is more successful are the puzzles you do with your axe, because the axe has a gimmick to it. When it strikes something, it freezes it in place. Yeah. Specifically like gears, mechanisms, and stuff. And there are a good number of kind of clever puzzles that involve you, throwing your axe at a thing to freeze it after manipulating it, and then like aligning it with something else. Things like that. Like, these are decent.
Yeah. Like, it's almost always just an order of operations thing. Like, like at what point in the movement of this machine do I hit it with the axe? And then, like, where do I need to be standing in order to get where I need to go once the mechanism releases? And these are good. They remain varied until the end of the game. I think primarily because they are deployed a little bit sparingly.
Yes. Yeah. And they're not big challenges. Like, don't come to this looking for good puzzles.
No, this isn't going to be like Talos Principle. Yeah.
No. This is just a little something to do with your hands that isn't fight dudes.
Yeah.
So the game is kind of open world-ish, similar to like Arkham or Tomb Raider. Cory Barlog, who is the creative director for this, worked on Tomb Raider. So you have some freedom when you're moving around, but it's not a wide open world like Red Dead Redemption or something.
Right.
And in this game, there are a few collection side quests and other side quests, some of which span the entire game. You can return to most places you've visited before. Some are point of no return, but most of the time you can go back.
Yes. Yeah. But you're collecting like a bunch of stuff. You're finding you're like, I don't even know, like what do the like sailors' artifacts do and things like that.
A lot of them are sellable. Like, a lot of them are like, it will give you a thing that's like collect 1 of 9, but they're just there for money. And one of the things I think is not super good about this is crafting. And crafting materials. I find the crafting system that's very vestigial and exhausting. Because there are a lot of different materials, and every single bit of equipment that you or boy has requires a different material to shore up. And I just didn't like keeping track of it. So I stopped. I just kind of was like, what can I make? But doing that by making me agnostic to what I'm picking up and just having a general inventory that kind of grows like Katamari's.
No. I was sounding the alarm because we were going to talk about pickup economy and why it matters.
Yeah. This isn't a bad trope. This is a good trope. This is a good WoW original that people like. It's not like we bring up anime.
I wasn't like warning people for us. I was just highlighting the fact that this shows up.
It's like a blue light special.
Yes.
Do you remember those in grocery stores?
God, yeah.
You had to rush over to that part of the Kmart.
I remember blue light specials on the Kmart gas station. Like, particular lanes would have like discounts and cause like
nightmare
fist
to
fights.
Work there. Can you imagine having to work there? Good God. That place deserved to go into business. But yeah, so like, I just don't care what I'm picking up. Like, and that's a real problem. Like, I should be excited for like the comical way that Kratos shows respect to some treasure chest and disrespect to other treasure chest, or some things he wants to stomp on and some things he doesn't. But I don't care what I'm picking up because it's like, oh, Zeus's feather, like, Thor's bunion. Like, you just pick up, elfish leather and all this stuff, and I just don't give a shit. I found it really, really fatiguing and annoying. It made me reluctant to engage with parts of the open world because, like, that's like a little area that I can go to over there. In the past, though, it's pretty much just been like either a soft or hard metal that I got out of the back of it. It's like I feel like I'm doing fine in the combat actually. So it's just a lot of that stuff is really important to higher difficulties. Where your equipment is what matters in this game. Like, you unlock new moves on your skill tree, but you don't level up your equipment is how you determine your avatar power. In this.
So, but yeah, like those side quests, there are some of them that matter more than others. Like, you end up like finding pieces of runes that let you travel to optional realms, Niflheim.
Dungeons.
I popped into these and I was like, just cause like, okay, I want to be able to talk about them. And when I saw that it was like, okay, it's like a little Lost Woods, challenge arena thing. And then you get a special currency that you can spend. It's like, oh, this would have been DLC. Like,
yeah, bad DLC though.
Yes.
Like, it would have been very like controversial DLC.
Mm-hmm.
If it popped up. There's two of them. One of them is a fog maze, that, you go to get crafting materials, and it's really annoying. It's like a timered, randomized, fog maze. And it sucks. And then there's one that's combat arenas, and the combat arena is not like, here's some interesting mix-ups. It's, can you beat 8 enemies in this time frame with just this attack?
Right.
It's all stuff that would be like trophies. And the frustrating thing is both of these are tied into a bigger, better side quest, which is fighting all the optional bosses in the game, which I've never killed all of them in either of my playthroughs, but the ones I did fight, the first time I played around, fought, 4 or 5. This time I fought 1, because I ran out of time, but they're cool.
Yeah.
And 2 of them are hidden in these shitty minigame realms.
Yeah.
That are not very good.
Are those the Valkyries or are those?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 9 Valkyrie and 2 of which are hidden in those realms. So you have to engage with the garbage stuff to get them if you want to fight them, and they are good fights.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go after those, but most of the time you're going to be getting these crafting materials, doing your upgrades, taking them to 2 comic relief dwarfs, one of which I found charming, the other one I did not.
I'll be really curious as to which one, because I think one of them is better than the other one too, but maybe it won't be the same one.
Ooh, we can talk about it when we get there.
Yeah.
let's
see fire dwarves. Fire dwarf from on.
Sorry, dwarf.
Dwarf monsters.
There are some bits of like weapon and armor customization that are pretty rewarding. So like you can change like the handles on your weapons, and like which kind of armor you put on like will advantage like different stats, and eventually like different styles of play. I liked that. What I didn't like was kind of like going and accumulating the things that I needed in order to like upgrade that. Like I would see the big list of available enchantments or whatever, and I'd be like, I do not feel like reading the tooltips on all of these actually.
Yeah, I'm going to be okay. Yeah. Like I basically, both times I played through emphasized attack and strength. The other ones are like runic, so your magic damage, your ability cooldowns, and then like defense vitality.
Yeah.
And those are fine, but treating them just like a thing that, when I run into the shopkeeper now, he has a different inventory, rather than his inventory being dependent on how many doodads I picked up.
Yeah.
I think is more satisfying. Kratos and Atreus share a common XP pool, which you use to buy new combat skills from a tree. None of them are necessary. Some are better than others. This really rides the lightning between like meaningful good upgrades and plus 3% frost damage upgrades. I think some of these are too fiddly to use, but the ones that are fun are fun. Yeah. And, you do get a choice. So, this is generally a success, I think.
Yeah. There's at least like a 1/3 of the abilities are ones where it like you can identify a use for like where you're going to see them. Like, oh yeah, I can see that fitting. And other ones are like, I specifically kind of like backed away from the ones where it's like between the 3rd and 4th hit, paused, enter the 2nd stance to like that felt a little bit too frame jabby to me. Somebody out there is listening and saying, oh my gosh, why are these guys playing games? They don't like engaging with systems. I liked the fun and flashy systems.
Well, and I love engaging with systems, but not necessarily like these kind of systems. I never want to switch stances. Like we talked about that before. That is the level of too fiddly for me. I just don't care about it. It's okay. And I'm not saying it's bad. It's just nothing I want to engage with. Yeah. Like I'm sure that can add some depth.
There was no lack of good things to spend my points on.
I emphasized a lot of charge attack things, like any of the things that allowed you to get a good first strike. Because, eventually you get to the point where you start every encounter doing one of those, then unloading all of your runics. In the beginning to get them on the same cooldown, and you can mostly take out most encounters right away.
Yeah. I ended up kind of liking the ones that were like plus frost damage because you could really pump that up actually. And it's not just that it increases frost damage, but it increases accumulation, like of the stat. So it's not just extra damage, like you inflict you debilitate them with whatever you're attacking with. Yeah.
Yes. There are also heart pieces, basically heart containers, both for health and Spartan Rage around the world in different chests. Sometimes they're a puzzle chest where you have to hit your axe at certain bells either finding them in the environment or finding them and striking them in a limited amount of time. I love that Kratos, if a treasure chest is small, Kratos does not respect it. You'll punch through the top of it.
Yep.
If a treasure chest is big, however, Kratos will respect it and rummage around a big pile of skulls to pull out like an apple.
Yep.
Every single time, like just digs through like this treasure chest full of skulls. What is going on with these big treasure chests, man?
Everybody, I mean, so I think that they're like sarcophaguses. They're burial vaults is what they are. And that's why he respects them.
But is it like a club cranium, like burial vault? Why are there so many skulls in there, dude?
I mean, really, the only thing that matters is the skull. So yeah, throw the rest of me away.
Everybody plays this club cranium skull. Yeah. Yeah. Club cranium is a really good name for a box full of skulls, dude.
It is.
Come on, everybody, play this club cranium.
He just discolates on a box of skulls. Oh God. Let's talk characterization, because we're spending an awful lot of time with these characters, and I think the big one that ends up being kind of the selling point, and also another way that they are rebooting this or changing it, is the fact that Kratos is older and grizzled and is very clearly trying to break a cycle.
He's unforgiven.
Yes.
You know? Let's kind of go through, because these are big parts of the game.
Yes.
So Kratos, this game drew some flack for Kratos not dealing with his like ridiculously violent past. I don't buy that. I think
I think that he does.
I mean, I think that people, it just wasn't far enough.
Yeah.
I think it just kind of wasn't enough for people who say that, because remember, Kratos was the guy who was like, "You're innocent. I'm going to use you to like jam up these gears."
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like he's real bad. Like again, when I say one of gaming's greatest sociopaths.
Yeah.
You know, this does a lot of work to make him not that. I think, but there was a lot of that.
Right.
And the story of this is him softening.
Right.
To his son and trying to break that cycle, and also learning to be a little softer with the kid.
Right, because he starts off, and I really like the way that this relationship progresses, even if there are some parts of it that kind of like just move shockingly quick, the way that their dynamic in their relationship changes.
The pacing of that stuff is a big bugbear I have, which we'll get into.
But broadly, like him softening toward Atreus and going from giving, one-word answers to recognizing that the kid can't read his mind and the kid needs to understand like why Kratos knows what he is talking about.
Yes.
I really enjoy the kind of progressive softening that happens over this, and kind of like through these different arguments where you can see them like not just talking past each other, but actually like mirroring each other in it, like in a particularly kind of like in a way that is like almost unintentionally infuriating to each other. Yeah. Yeah.
They learn from each other as they go. And like, the grand arc of this, I think, is very good.
Yes.
Personally, it is an old story. It is kind of a generic story of a dad softening. I don't have a lot of respect for tough love dads. I don't think that's a good mode in the first place. But this is him moving towards the right, be more mom-like dads. Him doing that, which I really like. Atreus is also good in the grand arc, but I think slips a little bit more in the execution because of that speed. We'll talk about those things when they happen. But in general, the idea of him coming to also kind of understand his dad and lose some of his naivete and stuff is a good arc.
Yeah.
But I'm really here for Mimir.
Mimir's the star of the show.
MVP of the game.
He's the real head of the family.
This is the best thing
here.
this game does. Yeah. I don't think that there's anything the game does really better than Mimir, which is a weird thing. But the second playthrough, I'm like, man, I wish you got Mimir sooner. I wish the other comic relief characters were just menus. And we just had Mimir, because Mimir is funny and interesting and a real feat. Having this character who explains lore to you while you're traveling around is a really good idea.
Yeah. And the fact that he is so just undisturbed. I mean, like, he's a head that you keep on your belt.
Yeah, he's a belt head. Yeah. And in a long history of Kratos belt heads.
Yeah.
Like, Kratos loves to take a head and put it on his belt. But this one just chats with him. It was the salad at the time. Yeah, you put a head on your belt. But this one just chats with him. Yep. You know, this is like the other one's petrified people are shown light. This one he made to make a friend for his son. You know, like that's the progression.
Yeah. But just like Mimir, he's got this like Scottish accent and he's like unflappable in a lot of ways. Yes. Like he's very,
there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, well, he's very wise and has like the right thing to say. It's a little bit like having a Wilson from Home Improvement, except instead of being, like behind the fence, he's on your belt.
The big obvious thing I got from it was Mort from Torment, like somebody who's going to comment but knows the world that you're in and is going to guide you.
Yeah.
Mimir is great. Like I absolutely love Mimir, and like, there is if you miss some of them or whatever on YouTube, there's a supercut that's just like all of the stories.
Oh, nice! That would be fun to keep on like almost like a podcast.
Yeah, like throw on the Mimir tales. Like it is, it's not going to teach you about Norse mythology because they take a lot of liberties within this game, but they are entertaining little stories, and he's a good storyteller, and the voice actor is great.
Yes, very just like genial and pleasant, and like patient with all of them. Like if I was stuck between Kratos and Atreus at some of these points, I would I'd roll away. Yeah. I would just hop on down and do whatever I could to roll away from them. But Mimir,
there are very few men who I want to live on their belt.
Yes.
And Kratos is really near the bottom of that.
Yeah. You know? For the blood alone. Yeah.
The blood and the ball stink. Mm-hmm. The truly godly ball stink.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I don't think I can handle that.
But my favorite thing about the dynamic is that Kratos never stops calling Mimir head. He just says, speak head.
Yes. Son, head.
Boy, head.
Woman,
doesn't call him son until the end.
Boy, woman, head. But we're going to talk a lot of sugar about Mimir throughout, and Mimir is very good.
Yes.
So one of the ways this game gets kind of summarized and drew criticism is that this is a dad game.
Yeah.
The idea that game developers came of a certain age and they all started making games about childhood and dad feels is something that is like one of those criticisms that I think is true, but I don't understand why it's bad.
Yeah. It's like I mean, yes, there are lots of them, but I don't think that there
aren't that many. Like there's like 6.
Yeah.
You know, like,
well, so it's not that there's that many, but like each of them comes out and ends up taking up all of the oxygen because they're so big.
Yes. That's what people get mad about. And the other thing I think people get mad about with regards to this is that there aren't like, where are our mom games? Where are our aunt games?
I agree.
And totally agree. Like that's the part I have tons of time for, but something that like I try to get across on this show that is a difficult thing to get across when I'm trying to position myself in relation to like my peers in that criticism sphere is I don't think that says anything about God of War. Like the fact that there aren't mom games is not a criticism of this game. You know, like it doesn't action as that. You know, so it's oftentimes framed as such, like, you know, the new God of War, that's bullshit because where are our mom games? It's just another dad game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but that doesn't say anything about this. Like that's a problem with the industry. That's not
right.
It's a big problem with the industry. It needs to be fixed. Like raise hell about it. But it doesn't say anything about this particular piece of art.
Yeah.
You know,
like the salient criticism would be, me telling people what's valid or whatever. The version of that criticism that I feel like I would be the most interested in, at least like from a comparative basis, is to say, all right, this is another one of these kind of stories. We have seen a lot, we've seen plenty of these and they're big games. Everybody has played them. Like, does this do anything different with the form? Would be like the criticism that I would like to see. And I think this one does, specifically because it focuses on, Kratos being deathly afraid of seeing himself in his kid. I think that idea of explicitly trying to stop the cycle is not something that has been done an awful lot. There's been an awful lot of like, I am concerned because I'm responsible for this thing that I need to protect. That happens. But
not a lot of like, there's a lot of overprotection, Last of Us style things. Not a lot of like I need to make sure my son doesn't become me.
Right.
Which is a, dadfear.text.
Right.
And there are ways in which this is very typical. Like we do spend a lot of time with protection, and the other major parental relationship is about that.
Yes.
So I would say, like, in terms of whether this gives anything to do that conversation, I'd say like mostly, partly, not entirely, but like, yes, to a degree. I don't, it is frustrating that these take up all the air in the room. Like that is fair. And I also really want a mom game. Like give us a mom game, give us an aunt game, give us a sister game, give us a brother game. Like give us, other relationships other than dads. It's just all these white dudes with tons of power who are making games, are just being blown away by the fact that like these ancient, things about parenthood, like, oh my God, this shit's real. I got to make a game about this.
Literally the oldest stories.
Yeah. I was just struck. I held my son and I just,
everything changed. And just a real perspective shift. Yeah.
Gotta make a dad game. So it's like worth making fun of, but as a construct, but not worth making fun of God of War 2018 about it, I think.
Yeah. And it's definitely worth criticizing the dynamics in the industry that lead to this, kind of 100%. Being the case. Yeah.
Let's talk about the one-shot thing in this.
Yeah.
So this is, as a real, like, gimmicky kind of selling point to this, I think. It is all done in one shot. There are no loading screens and no cutscenes. The camera only moves away from your character once on it to move towards boy, and then never does it again.
Yeah.
Similar to like the movie Birdman, 1917, something like that. I think this is a real mixed result thing. We were talking about it in the Slack, and we were talking about the pacing, like how quick things are. Part of that is because this is like a bad, this takes place in real time for Kratos and boy. Like, this is not a journey like Lord of the Rings where it takes place over the course of weeks. I think part of that, I think that would have helped the pacing a lot.
Yeah.
If like they just increased the area and had them make camp or what have you from time to time to do some of these story bits.
Yeah.
But that would give up this conceit of one continuous shot.
Yeah. It's hard for me to like tangibly like say what this added for me. The most prominent sense that I had when I was playing this is that like I was kind of constantly on edge because I never knew like when I was like going to interact with something, like going to lift up a log for Atreus to like walk under or something, like when the camera pulled in real tight. Basically, I was always afraid that Baldur or somebody else would like come up and like grab Kratos by the shoulder and like yank me into a boss fight or cutscene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they do that trick a lot.
They do that, yeah, they do that. Sir. And that's the stated purpose of doing this was to make you really feel what Kratos is feeling and stuff. And in those moments where it's that uncertainty or that danger or like not being able to see your son, that's a worthwhile goal. But games have like a real issue, I think, with like reckoning with what they're composed of. So like you look at something like, a role-playing game where it's like, yes, this game is about this, but you actually are mostly just doing unending battles with 80% of your actual runtime is just fighting goblins. In this, the idea behind that camera thing was like, oh, we really need to make you feel close to Kratos. We really got to, make you feel claustrophobic and feel vulnerable and in danger and everything. But most of the game is in a boat or doing like a badass werewolf unzipping and combat, which I don't think, the camera would be on you during those things anyway. So locking you to in the other places doesn't do as much.
No.
Like it is not tactically deployed. Like long shots tend to be in, like a P.T. Anderson movie.
Yes. Yeah. I think that by keeping everything locked in with no edits, you actually lose some of the benefit that you would get from montage in this.
Tons of benefit from montage. Like I don't want to cut over to Odin and see what Odin's up to.
No. Like it's actually cool that you don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, it's great. Like that, or like when you go into a room, I don't necessarily need the camera to sweep around at all your goals. Stuff like that is a little bit lame, but being able to like make camp or fade out or have some kind of like discussions, like it would have made time pass.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing that fucks with the story pacing of the game.
Yeah.
And makes things happen really quick is that feels like the whole thing is, again, it's like one real bad day.
To do a comparison to another game that is similar, I think that the edits and the time passing in The Last of Us is actually really laudable and done extremely well. And that is something that I miss here. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that in The Last of Us. Yeah. Like, it's a really powerful trick to have implied time. Mm-hmm. And what they could have done with some of these things, like when boys' mood shifts, if that happened after a time jump of any kind, it'd be like, well, hell, man, this has probably been a really awkward, couple of days. I can fill in the blanks of this rather than it just feeling like, hey, 2 seconds ago we were having a good time.
Right. Yeah.
What the fuck happened, dude? Mm-hmm. And like, there are a million defenses of this, like, oh, kids are mercurial and stuff like that.
They still respond to stimulus.
They're still not like, set to random.
Yeah. It's not like a kid is in Schrodinger's box,
Yeah. And we'll get into specifics about that, but I think that the camera thing, they did not, purchase what they spent.
Yeah.
Like, even really close with that trick. Like, it's kind of impressive. It hides some load times. But there's a thing, Matthew Matosis has a good video on God of War 2018. And he made a point that I really like, that I never really thought of before, is that when developers get really, really, really clever with hiding load times,
everybody starts doing that thing.
Well, not just that, but it also, you're reverse future-proofing yourself. Because a load screen, the length of that is dependent on the hardware. Yeah, like that will get shorter and shorter and shorter. Whereas pushing myself through this little crevice will never get shorter.
Yeah.
So like when this is played on the PS7, on the virtual console on the PS7,
right,
people are going to be losing their minds about those parts because it's like just dumbed down time for no reason.
It'll be like going back and playing Mass Effect 1 today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that whole clever about your load time thing maybe is not as good as you think it is.
Also, I mean, I was playing this on a PS4 Pro, on a 4K television. I still had load times occasionally. Like I would just be running and it would hitch and I would see the little glyphs and then it would be for like 30 seconds and then it would go. So.
Yeah. The ways that they use, this is a bigger kind of thing, but the way that they use this philosophy to justify load times and fast travel, I find extremely obnoxious. I think this is one of the worst fast travel systems in a video game. I really hate fast travel in this.
Yeah, it's not functional.
Yeah, non-functional and a tedious and annoying to go through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's pretty though.
It's a real pretty game. Oh my God, some of the scenery in this.
Yep. If you like big dead things, you will like this game. Like if I like being around the corpse of a giant, let me tell you, like I like being, just the scale is real good.
Yep. Just breathtaking. Like when you step out in, an Alfheim for the first time, like that's one of the major realms that you go to. Ridiculous. The like splashes of color in the, in like the garden that you go to. Partway through in the woods, when you meet the witch, like just beautiful stuff. And I said this on Twitter, but I'll echo it here. It's a real shift from like violent spectacle to serene spectacle in this. There's plenty of violent spectacle, don't get me wrong, but there's an awful lot of time that you spend just soaking in all of this just wonderful vista design that is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It is, the scenery is a big deal.
Yeah.
In this. And it's more varied and prettier. That's the generational shift.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, but it actually benefits a lot from this. Like it's not clutter. It's like scale and scope.
Yeah.
Like this really benefits from being on the PS4, whereas like, the PS2 era of these are hallways.
Yes.
The PS3 were like weird, like slightly more detailed hallways. The character work is good. Like characters look good and detailed. Even if there are a lot of bad haircuts on display.
Ooh, boy.
Well, this is going to be a theme because I started playing Dino Crisis 2. And like, when you're in track, you have to cut your own hair without a mirror. It's like the initiation thing. Because like everybody there looks like such shit. It's absolutely incredible. But there's some bad haircuts, but other than that, everybody looks pretty cool. The voice acting is really good.
Oh, it's so good.
Mimir obviously I think is the star, but it is just, well above average across the board in terms of presentation.
Kratos is really impressive to me. Like, that actor gets a lot of like different shades across in his gruffness and just gravel, I think.
And he's a new guy as well.
Yes.
This is the first God of War game not voiced by the classic guy, because he didn't have the build for the motion capture.
Yeah.
So he got fired, and now it's a guy from Stargate.
Yep. The guy from Stargate did a good job.
Yeah, that's Christopher Judge. So
yes. But for all of this visual acumen, something that I find is a real problem is enemy design.
Dude.
Yeah. Everything is very limited in terms of like the kinds of enemies that you fight. There are some of them that are, pretty different, but a lot of them just kind of look like, it reminds me of, not Lords of the Fallen. What's the Immortal Unchained? It reminds me of that to a certain extent, where it's like, here's just another kind of like zombie warrior kind of guy. Like, and maybe they're colored a little bit differently, or like they've got like different like tumor armor on them or scales or whatever. But yeah, you're going to fight them. Like, here's trolls, and here's ogres.
Here's ogres.
Yeah.
Yep. And here's golems, and here's trolls. And boy, if you like fighting trolls,
yes,
you will do this troll fight about 1 billion times.
Oh, can you have a different weapon? No, it's always going to be an obelisk. It was impressive the first time.
He loves a podium.
Yeah.
The ancestral weapon of a troll is a podium. Don't question it. Like this is a real problem, and this is I think a AAA gaming like crisis thing almost.
Yeah.
Of like, you can't afford to have this kind of variety when your production values are this high. And it has a huge impact.
Yeah.
Like all of a lot of big prestige modern video games I played, I ran into this with.
Yeah.
Like we talked about The Last of Us, obviously that was last gen. I haven't played the second one yet, but that also has this issue where there are just too many, it's dudes and clickers and then better clickers. Like, Alan Wake. Like, this is a thing with games that push graphical fidelity for their time. They're not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough. And it's real weird, too, that they repeat that boss so often and they put 9 optional bosses that are really good.
Yep.
I find that frustrating. When the King of Hell turned out to be another troll.
I was losing my fucking mind.
Yeah. And this is my second time around, but I'd forgotten because I was like, surely they didn't. I was in my mind, I was like, how many bosses are in this? Well, there's basically just Baldur and then different trolls, right? And then I was like, but the King of Hell, like I'm going to go talk to the King of Hell.
Yeah,
and
it's going to be like a big skeleton guy. No, he's a troll. He uses a slightly different kind of obelisk.
Yep. He's got a certain kind of podium.
Yep.
It's, that stuff is real limited and samey and not super good. And some of the deviations they have from that standard design are not very good either. Like I find the Revenants and the Nightmares all pretty annoying to fight.
Yeah.
As opposed to fun. So it's like, not only is there not great variety, but I would say that some of the swings towards variety are actually lame.
Yeah. Especially later on when they start mixing fire and ice enemies together. And you end up
any kind of elemental or shit like that. I hate switching weapons to match an element type in a fight. That's never gonna like do much for me.
Right.
I don't like it. So that's a problem. Soundtrack is generally pretty good. It's made by a guy named Bear McCreary, which that's really good on its own.
Yeah.
It's a good name.
He's a famous composer. Like he did a bunch of stuff for The Walking Dead. I think he did some Mass Effects, possibly. Yeah. Just a lauded composer of games like this. But yeah, this does what it needs to. It works in, kind of like a little bit of like traditional instrumentation, lots of, bombast and sad when it needs to be there. It mostly is
very
just
cinematic.
There. But there are there are moments that end up working. And some of these kind of like high stakes conversations that end up happening. There's a point where the instrumentation kind of shifts to more something from Kratos' past that I think are really good.
There's a weird part where it's all drum machines and synthesizers. I found that really strange.
It's from Kratos' synthwave phase.
Yeah, it's from his future.
Yeah,
we has to go fight Bowie and Gary Newman and Klaus Nomi.
Holy shit! You're yours to God's heart.
Yeah, you're not a real good God of War game.
Yeah,
like he's fucking incredible.
Whew.
Brian Ferry is king of the fairies. But he has to fight.
Yeah.
So let's talk about not in a bad way. I know that was a problematic oob. I didn't mean. No. I obviously didn't mean fairies a slur.
No. I wasn't doing about that. Okay. I was more doing that was a transition ooh. Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about the development. Like there's a lot of text about this, but it is all just like justifications for things that you see on screen. Kind of the story here is that development began in 2014. And David Jaffe, they thought about getting him back, but he was otherwise committed to a game that did not sell nearly as well as this. So they brought Corey Barlog, kind of in, who was the creative lead on God of War 2, to kind of helm this and try to figure out what do we do? Because like God of War 3 sold a lot and was well received, but like our weird little interquels that we did, you know, Ascension and Ghost of Sparta or whatever, like nobody played those and nobody cares. So like we need to give this a real shot in the arm, basically.
Yeah. The initial concept was to send Kratos to Egypt, which I think is a cool idea.
Yep.
Still, like this will be a trilogy and we're going to spend some time in the Northlands, but I like the idea of Kratos just killing different pantheons.
Yep.
However, that is not very isolated. That is a place with tons of cities, and Egypt is civilized. They said too civilized for that. I think they could have done it just fine. But at the end of the first trilogy, David Jaffe, the series creator, said, hey, what if Kratos went to the Norse pantheon? And they decided to go with that. I think in no small part, this was also probably influenced by the MCU. There are Easter eggs that are direct MCU Easter eggs. You can get an Infinity Gauntlet in this and get different stones for it. And the idea that Thor was back in the public consciousness, I am sure played a big part in this.
Hugely, yeah. Like an awful lot of like footwork had been done by the MCU to get people to like know and care what the Aesir are and how they differ from the Jotun.
Yeah, which would be a nightmare.
Yeah,
like I think you want to explain.
I would not be the one. I mean, and look how badly it went in Dark World.
Yeah.
I would not be the one to want to like soften that ground. However, they were poised to kind of like pick up on that on that tailwind.
It's weird how when you go to Elfheim, it is the best version of Thor 2. Like it's basically Thor 2 but good.
Yep.
In this.
Oh jeez.
So this game was a huge hit. Received really well. Not only did it sell tons of units, but there's a huge bump in PS4 units. This was a system seller and won tons of Game of the Year awards. This is a really, really well-respected prestige game.
Yes. Kind of surprisingly, there is no DLC. There's no expansion pack. This is by design. They decided to keep their powder dry on that. Barlog said that like he had one idea for like something he could do, but it was like kind of in between. It was too ambitious for just a straight up DLC that you would pay $15 for, but it wasn't enough for like a full sequel. It would have been like the Lost Legacy Uncharted game, that came out. Yeah.
But this will definitely be part of a trilogy. The story has a lot of unanswered questions. We have not seen the whole pantheon, including, direct hints, at certain ones. We haven't seen anywhere close to the full pantheon. I think that I looked up, there are 11 people, you interface with in this game.
Yeah.
Not counting Valkyries. And this ends on a very explicit sequel hook.
Yes. Yeah. And like, we haven't been to all the 9 realms. I think you go to like 4, maybe 5. Something like that. And like 2 of them are just, weird little like challenge corners. Like, I don't know, like
the worst realms.
It'd be cool if they took another run at Niflheim and Muspelheim. Those could be really cool places, but
I feel like they blew their load on them, which bums me out.
Yeah.
I really want to go to Asgard. Like the kid in me, like the 13-year-old, like wow, cool person in me desperately wants to, I will probably play these until the trilogy just because I want to see Odin and I want to go to Asgard, Yeah. So, into that, I want to get a bigger cast. And that's part of the joy of these games is just like, how can we turn these, mythological figures into shitty perverts and have you rip off their jaws?
Yep.
Like that's kind of God of War. Even though this has higher expectations, that is part of the teenager appeal to this.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about a sequel.
Same.
A little bit. You know, like even just like a logo or some shit. Very surprised. I'm sure COVID had a little bit of delaying progress, so thus delaying news. On that, but it just feels due.
It does. Yeah. It'll probably be like an early game on the next generation whenever those systems come out.
Yeah, they're saving it as a PS5 system seller.
Yeah.
for fools that don't want to get Demon Souls remastered.
Or Hitman, come on.
Or Hitman. Well, I know. I just wanted to bring up Demon Souls Remastered because I saw a screenshot from it again. And it looks good.
It does. It does look really good.
Looks hella good. So that's going to be the end of the beginner part of the episode, the preview part of the episode. If you're hearing this, if you want to hear the entire episode, you can join us at Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/Duckfeed.tv, just $5 a month or $1.25 a week, gets you this episode and then all of the premium episodes.
Yes. So you can go back and listen to us talk about such games as, BioShock Infinite. That's a big one. People really enjoyed our Stalker episode. What is one from this year? Oh, fuck. I have forgotten every single thing we have done.
Me too. It's no good. Why? That's a disease. Devil May Cry was the last one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It's no good. But they're good. They're good episodes. We're going to start a conspiracy theory that like a machine is doing this for us because we can't remember, or that like we've gotten replaced.
Oh yeah.
By like Pizzagate golems or something.
No, all of the editorial is done by Dead Drop.
Yeah, we're animate number stations. It's actually just like 2020, and we're both depressed and barely hanging on.
Well, yeah.
So that's the actual memory thing. And we do a lot of shows.
We do,
and we've done like hundreds and hundreds of these. Like it is very hard to keep them in mind.
Yeah, and a lot of those you can get by being our patron. So you can go and relive memories that we don't even remember having.
Yeah, be our memory for us. We'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
And
we understand if things are hard, we have built it so that you can pop in and pop out. However would work best for you.
Yeah. Appreciate it. And we'll see you next week with our dispatch.
Boy.